What's good, YouTube? What's going on? It's your boy Garrett here, coming at you with yet another NU Pokemon Showdown battle. Yes, it is still with the same team. This is actually a battle that I had right before I entered a tournament, so this is my practice runs that I was doing, and this is a good battle that I managed to get in before that tournament, and we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. So he leads with his Garbodor, as I lead with my Druddigon, and basically what happens here is he gets to set up his Toxic Spikes and his regular spikes, as I only get the chance to set up my Stealth Rocks and go for an Earthquake to try and weaken this thing. It almost gets it down to half. It only does in total about 40% when you add in Black Sludge. But he switches out into his Jellicent, who actually tanks this fucking Earthquake that I throw at it. And I'm like, alright, you know what? Jellicent's too bulky right now. I'm going to throw out a Toxic, which is what I do. He Will-O-Wisps me. So my Druddigon has already got the Stealth Rocks up. I've already gotten burned. I've basically already outlived my usefulness on this Pokemon right now, and I'm not mad. It's just that there's really nothing I can do now. So I decided to go for Dragon Tail, and out comes the Vikavolt, who's going to be able to kill me with a Choice Specs Bug Buzz. And I'm like, you know what? I really don't care. Druddigon did his thing. He's out now, and I can work around this. So I got into him on top because I'm like, I can tank any one hit this Vikavolt wants to go for. And turns out he's not Choice Specs. He's actually Bloom Doom, Z-Move, Energy Ball, I assume. But I get a Rapid Spin off, and I get those Toxic Spikes and Spikes out of here, and I don't have to worry about that shit again. He Volt Switches, does not kill Hitmontop because Hitmontop is especially bulky as fuck. Goes out into Jellicent, and I'm like, alright, you know what, I can't really do anything against this Jellicent. But luckily on the switch, I went for Rock Slide, and that actually does no damage, 17% only, but Toxic is going to bring him down to a manageable level, and I can just click Choice Specs Moonblast on this thing. And now this was a misplay on my part coming up. He goes out into Garbodor. I thought he was going to set up, so I decided to stay and go for Moonblast. Misplay on my part, because as you'll see, he just goes straight away for the Gunk Shot. Unfortunate, very unfortunate for me. I just lost my heaviest hitter, and now I've only got my 2 defensive walls and my Braviary. So I decided to go for the Brave Bird, finish off this Garbodor before it could do any more shenanigans. Aftermath damage and my recoil puts me at about 75%, so only about 25% in total was lost. He goes down to his Blastoise, and I'm like, alright, I don't want to take an Ice Beam, so I decided to go out into Miltank. And he makes a smart play, goes right for the Scald, and actually gets the burn. He didn't go for the Rapid Spin right away. He went ahead and tried to go for damage, which was fine, because he knew at Braviary at just base by himself can't do any damage to a super defensive Blastoise. So I got into Miltank and I get a Thunder Wave off, and then he decides to go for the Rapid Spin because he knows I can't really do anything to him in return, but except for Thunder Wave. So Passimian's going to come out now, and I decided to go for the Heal Bell so I can get this burn off of me. And maybe I should have gone for a double Thunder Wave, but I just wanted to be safe and go for the Heal Bell. So I decided to go out into Super Defensive Wall, Slowbro, eat up a Close Combat. I'm eating Close Combats for breakfast. Goes back out into Blastoise as I go for the Scald, safe Scald. I just go for safe plays too much, I think. But I go out for the Scald. Blastoise, of course, takes it, and I decide to Calm Mind. I can get some Calm Minds up, but of course he carries the Toxic, so that puts an immediate timer on Slowbro, and I can't really do anything. So what I decide to do here is predicting to switch out into Sneasel. I think I go for Psyshock. I didn't predict it. I apologize. I thought I would have predicted it, but I didn't predict it, because there was no reason for him to stay in with Blastoise. He could have stalled me, which is what I thought he was going to do, but he didn't. He went right out into Sneasel. He hard switch into Sneasel. So Miltank's going to come out here, and the Icicle Crash does not flinch me, so I can get up a good, nice and healthy milk drink to get my vitamin D, all that shit. But he goes out into the Vikavolt, and I know I can take a hit from this thing. So I go for Seismic Toss just to get some damage off, and he's going to go for Agility, which isn't really going to make a difference right now, because I can just go for another Seismic Toss and kill this Vikavolt, if I'm not mistaken. That's right, I am mistaken. It lives at 2%. I don't kill this Vikavolt until later when I eventually get the sweep here. Simeon comes out, and I'm like, you know what? Miltank's just not going to be doing it for me right now. I'm going to go ahead and sack it. He goes for the knockoff, kills Miltank, and I'm like, you know what? The cows just had to come home today. The cows just had to go home. Braviary is going to come out now, and Braviary is literally my only chance of winning this battle because I can't do it with just Slowbro alone. So I started going for bulk ups, and I'm like, alright, if there's any way I can possibly win this, it's by going for bulk ups and setting up and getting everything. My setup is fucking ruined, though, because of the fact that he just got the Scald burn. But I am determined. I'm gonna keep battling, bulking up until I get some kind of momentum going here. He goes for the Ice Beam, and luckily he is not special attacking Blastoise, and his Ice Beam is not doing any damage to me. You know, looking at Blastoise right now, I'm just wondering to myself, what am I doing with my life if I'm not making a team using Blastoise and NU right now? Which is definitely what I'm going to be doing for the next NU, for the next couple of NU battles. I'm definitely building a team around Blastoise. Hold me to that shit. But he goes for another Ice Beam, and it's not doing really any damage, so I can get off my Roost. And the burn is not like a Toxic. He probably should have gone for the Toxic. That would have been more beneficial. But he went for Skull and got the burn on me. Now, just because, guys, remember, just because your Pokemon gets burned, if you have a setup move to raise your attack, it does not automatically mean that that Pokemon is useless. You can set up to a point where you can at least get above the burn handicap. And I'm going for Brave Bird here, and at +3, -1, I don't know, I can't remember if I'm only at, technically if I'm only at +1 or +2 right now in terms of my attack, but it does about half to a Blastoise, and right about now is when I'm going to go for another bulk up. I think I think I'm going to try and max out here so I don't have to worry about my attacks being too weak because of the fact that I didn't set up enough. So I said fuck all that. I'm sincerely just going for bulk ups right now. I'm going to eventually roost up so I can get all my HP back. This Blastoise just can't touch me. Because of the fact that I'm burned, he can't Toxic me and whittle me down progressively over the course of this 1v1. And I can roost to get all my HP back. Anything that I lose from his attacks or burn, I can just gain it all back. So basically right now I said, you know what, fuck it, I'm clicking Brave Bird, and it does not kill Blastoise. Blastoise is too fucking bulky in this tier. Blastoise is a monster. He gets a crit, does not kill me, and luckily this gives me the opportunity to roost up, get all my HP back, so I don't even have to fucking fret about that. He goes into past Simeon, but of course I go for the roost, and because I have +4 defense, there's nothing this Simeon can really throw at me to knock me out. He doesn't have Rock Slide or anything like that. He does go for knockoff, knocks off my leftovers, so now I have slightly minimal recovery, but I still have Roost, so I'm not really afraid of that. I'm not really afraid of really anything. So I can go for Brave Bird and kill this Pissimian. Yes, it does a lot of recoil damage, but like I said, Roost pretty much negates all of this. And at +4 in defense, I don't have to fear this Sneasel. Ice Shard's not going to do anything. Icicle Crash doesn't even do anything. That's how fucking crazy that is. And of course, and luckily he just doesn't get the flinch, so I can roost up, get all my HP back. And I think I can click Brave Bird here. Unfortunately for him, he misses the Icicle Crash. That might have made all the difference just right there, because I know if he had hit me and flinched me, he would have been able to outspeed and go for another one. And then Slowbro he would not have been able to do the work against that Vikavolt, who's only at 2%. And because I killed the Blastoise, who is at 14%, Vikavolt's going to come out, and because it's so slow, it can't catch up to my Braviary and zap me out of the sky with a Thunderbolt. Unfort indeed. So guys, that was that battle. I hope you enjoyed. Definitely tune in for, I think I'm going to do one more video with this team, and then after that I'm just going to work with something else. Like I said, I'm going to try and make something revolving around Blastoise. But for right now, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a good night.